Evening, guys. It's Monday. It's 8 o'clock. It studs up on the Man United agenda. Gents. It's a busy bloody day. A Monday. How you been?
Yeah, I'm stoked. I was really happy that OS seems to approve of the new title intro. He's not bobbing his head, and he cut off quick, and he got caught. He got caught out bobbing his head. Welcome back, OS. It's great to see you.
Yes,
good to be back.
Yes.
Good to be back.
Talk. My right-hand man, my partner in crime. What's happening, man?
Yeah, partner in Friday night shenanigans. Yeah, no, it's been a busy day today. I'm sure Monday will agree to that. It's been a busy day and an eventful day, which we are now going to delve into and try and pull apart and get the meat off the bone.
Let's try and dissect what's going on here. Obviously, we do know about the new variant, Omicron. They've now decided to shut down Carrington for 24 hours. It's the beginning. It's the start of a whole load of games being cancelled, man. And I'll be honest, I'm not ready for that. I'm sitting there and I'm not ready for that. What are we thinking? Carrington being closed down, how's that going to affect our training? I assume that from what I'm hearing, it sounds like it's half of the squad. The players who played against Norwich were the ones that were clear. Is that right?
Yes. Initially, obviously we went away to Norwich. So those players were okay. Then we reported something yesterday to say that the people that were back at the stadium and who weren't a part of that squad, there was maybe an outbreak or something happened. And then today we got the announcement that more staff and more people. Obviously, the true story will come out in the next few days, but they've enough to actually for them to say we need to shut down the training centre, which is Carrington, and that means all staff and all players. So maybe it's staff and players, or maybe one or the other. But that's the decision that's been made, and obviously they have to make decisions really quick in these circumstances and just follow the rules. And then I think now they've applied to the Premier League to explain to them, look, this is our situation. Is it wise? Because fans have to travel all the way down to Brentford, unless you're a London Man United fan like myself and you used to be, which is just down the one bus away. Anyway, so the decision needs to be made. As of yet, it's like 8 o'clock Monday evening, and I haven't heard anything about a decision about the Brentford game. But yeah, Carrington, 24-hour lockdown, shut off.
For me, I think I'm looking at this and thinking, wait a minute, 24 hours, that's buying them time. I believe they're just buying some time there because 24 hours is no good, is it? It takes longer than that. I don't get it. And I don't understand how it's just 24 hours. It can't be just 24 hours, in my opinion. If key members of squad and staff are away, it's going to be closed, isn't it? Apart from obviously maybe the youth side of it, if that's all clear, then they can concentrate on that side of it. But I mean, to me, it doesn't make any sense just for it to be 24 hours. I don't quite understand how that could work.
Well, maybe it's 24 hours to start with, just so that they can get a grip of what's going on right now, because they don't know the scale of who is infected and who's not. So maybe tomorrow they're gonna extend that 24 hours, and they're just gonna say, for a week we're off. I mean, for us, it's the worst time this can happen right now, because Ragnick needs time with the squad. He needs time to train. He already doesn't have enough time because games are coming every 3 days, and now this is like he's just not having time to work with the team, and we want to see his philosophy implemented into the team. And it's just, for me, I'm like, couldn't have had a worse time.
Just as we're getting going, they put the brakes on.
Exactly that. And I don't want to go back to what we were experiencing last year when there was no football or even no fans in the stadiums. I mean, that kills the vibe.
I just want to say it, OS, on that front, it's a possibility, in my opinion, because if you look at how many teams are being affected by this, it's going to take, how many you've got to isolate because it's now Omicron. Maybe they might extend that isolation period to 14 days. Again, from the original one when we first, with the first virus that came about, because it's so clever at evading, things. Then I think the Premier League are going to be in an impossible position to carry on. They may well have to put a halt to proceedings for 10 days, 14 days. We spoke about this earlier on. I mean, what do you think of that? Is that a possibility? Do you think about that? Is it viable for them to do that?
What, shut it down for 14 days?
Just stop football, because there's so many clubs involved. You can't then say, it's like us now. You can't say to us, go and send your kids to play the more or less full strength squad of Brentford. How's that fair? No, we're trying. We're 11 points behind the league leaders here, and we're now getting into some kind of form. No, how can that be fair? It's not. You can't play football like that. It's ridiculous. It's like me saying, all right, well, you've got a problem at school, son. You know what? Who is it? It's the first year, right? Well, because you're not well, I'll go and fight him. No, do you know what I mean? You can't do that. It's crazy. So no, for me, they have to make the right decision, which is just halt proceedings for a determined amount of time. Don't leave us in the dark. Give us a determined amount of time as to how long they're going to stop it for, and everybody knows where they stand. Then clubs know where they stand, what they've got to do in the meantime. Blah blah blah.
A Monday sitting there quietly.
Well, look, this thing, I just think you need to follow regulation, wherever the law sit, or the rule, not the law, because it's not law, whatever the regulation is, whatever they advise you to do, we should just go ahead and do it, just to avoid any further fines or putting people at risk, as they say. Just go ahead and ask for guidelines from above and just follow that. The Premier League should have something in place. I think it shouldn't take so long. It should just be right. One phone call. What's the rule here? Bam. Right. That's what we do. But now we're speculating. We still don't know. We got to go to Brentford tomorrow. We got to take our equipment, all that kind of thing. I don't know what's happening. Do you understand what I'm saying? And I don't have to come all the way from Manchester. So, and the players, I mean, we don't know that. We heard with Tottenham, 8 players maybe were sick or tested positive for something, and it has to be 8? Does it have to be 7, 6? I don't know what's going on with the rules, so I just want things clarified on the whole, so everyone knows. Bam, bam, bam. If there's a situation, no, we don't qualify for banning the game yet, or we do. Just make it more clear, more transparent.
That's a good point. No, a good point, Amanda, that you're making there about the Premier League. They should be in a good position now in terms of what's happened in the past. They should have. If they're now running around scratching their heads on their backsides thinking, oh, what do we do? What do we do? That's not good enough. That is not good enough. They should have provisions in place for this kind of situation.
Yeah, I don't think they've got anything in place. I think they're going to wing it like they did the last one.
Really? That's crazy.
Yeah, I do.
They don't have anything in place right now. Because there's been over 40 cases, right, in the whole Premier League. They've recorded
42.
Is it 42? So I mean,
that's the most.
They're going to be running around panicking, I'm sure. So I hope Amonde is right, and they do have something in place where they can just say, you know what, 2 weeks, we're off, and then we're going to come back when everybody's fine again. Because it's not fair, as you Talk mentioned, that some teams are playing with kids, other teams are not, and Tottenham's games have been cancelled as well. So everybody has to be on the same playing field for sure. One of the comments.
100%. Good point. Good point. I didn't look at it from that angle, but you're right. If they've had their games cancelled because of that, then only right that everybody should have the games cancelled. And bit part in the Premier League saying, okay, well, we'll play this game between them two because they're all right, but then put all these lot back a little bit and try and juggle things around with the World Cup coming up, a shot and with a break. There's nothing going on in the summer, which we discussed this afternoon at the end of this season. So there's plenty of time to extend it by a couple of weeks.
It's true. It's really true. Who does Box support, by the way? You guys know?
Man United.
Box is one of our own. Box is not one of our own. He supports Tottenham, doesn't he?
Does he?
No.
I'm sure Box supports another team. But that's something funny, yeah.
I'm trying to figure out how to take this comment, because if it's an Arsenal or a Spurs fan, then this comment's a lot.
Box, who do you support, Box? Just remind us. I'm sure you're not a Man United supporter.
But it's true.
Well, by his picture, it looks like
he's Man United. Box is Man United.
Yeah, I know he was Man United.
He said he looks like he supports Jesus.
Look at his icon.
You know what,
Jesus, we need you now. Come save this Premier League season.
I just want the game to be on tomorrow. What are we thinking about this game tomorrow, lads? What?
I was so excited. I was so excited. I got back from vacation. I'm like, finally I can sit down, watch Ragnick at work, watch the team and everything. And then this rubbish starts to come into play, because I don't want us to hold momentum. I know form-wise, it wasn't the greatest of form that we were in, but you can see there's a certain stability that's happening within the team. There's a certain skill, which I love to see. And it's hard to beat us. Like it looks like it's harder to beat us than it was the last few weeks. So I'm just intrigued. And he even attacked the attackers, which was good. He said, I'm happy with the defense and the goalkeeper, but the attackers need to do more work. So that's the likes of Bruno, Ronaldo, these guys, that don't like being told, So I'm glad he doesn't care about names. So I was really intrigued to see tomorrow what would happen against Brentford, because Brentford wasn't going to be an easy game, but I was confident that we would have turned up against them.
They've got players out on there. Sorry.
Sorry. No, talk. Go.
Oh, no, I was going to say I think they've got the keeper out and Tony's out as well.
Tony's out, yeah, exactly. Again, probably the best time to play them. They've got Tony out.
Oh, yeah.
He's actually coming back. He's had COVID. He should be back, but whether he'd be fit enough to play after having some time off, a bit like Greenwood, the situation, But yeah, their goalkeeper, Reyes or Rayo, whatever, he's been out for a while. They got a replacement in another young Spaniard guy, who's been, he's got a lack of experience, but they've been doing all right. They've got a lot of good results this year. Brentford have. They've been a surprise. Obviously, no surprise beating Arsenal, but they had a good draw with Liverpool. They drew 3-3 with them, So, yeah, they're a good outfit, very well managed, and especially being at their stadium. I was speaking to one of their fans, had a show here to plug it again the other day on Sunday night, and he was saying, this is the highlight of their season. When they look at their fixture list, they're waiting for Man United to come and join play at their new stadium, and they're really excited about the game. So hopefully it's still on.
Yeah, this. That was a brutal comment, that one. Everybody has to be 3 backs, three shots in order to go into the stadiums. That's crazy.
And from March, I mean, I don't understand where March is coming from, because right now, I mean, look, we know we could, we see it. They put it in front of us all the time on the news, and if you go onto Microsoft Edge, you're just browsing for sort of news stories of the day, what's going on in the world. It's there, blazing right in front of you in red and white. How many people are dying, how many people are going to hospital. You're like, whoa, I mean, come on. So for me, I don't know where this march has come from. It's right now we need to be thinking about.
Indeed.
So what are we saying? Yes, no, game on, game off?
I'm going to say yes in the hope that the game, I want to put the positive energy out there that we're still going to stick there. I just hope I don't want it though with playing kids. I don't want that. I don't know who's out. So if it means that, then no.
Well, make a decision. Don't do what Spurs did going up to Burnley the other day and getting up there and then realise it's snowing. Let us know from let us know from I mean, how stupid is that? Don't waste people's time, There's a lot of people investing in this.
Do you know what it was? They thought that Ethel had left a washing machine on. It was soap suds. They thought it was soap suds.
Crazy, isn't it? Crazy. Just get it right. But you know what? I was really looking forward to head-to-head. We had a 2-2 draw with them in pre-season, and when we were just trying to get ourselves together. Obviously, we didn't play our new boys. Sancho wasn't there, Ronaldo, all that kind of thing. And Brentford looked good then, and obviously since then, you've seen what they can do. It would have been really interesting to see, because they were talking about their wing backs. They play 3 at the back, and the guy was saying they wouldn't worry about us. They would continue to play their football, which has been really effective this year. So it would have been a great matchup. I think both teams would have possibly scored. It would have been open, and it just would have been great eye candy for us who are looking for, like OS, for example. I'm glad you're on board with Ranrick, because I always look for your opinion to see what's OS say about this. What's he say about this? Because you got great insight into football and everything, and I was wondering what you thought of our last 2 performances, of Crystal Palace mainly and the Norwich. So we do need to progress in that like that. And as OS was saying, I do think we will sort of stifle the momentum that we're having. Then again, it could be a good thing, because this system requires sort of homework. You have to go home and get your thing out, your tablet and work out where I need to be standing. There's going to be a lot of homework given to the players. So a lot of education, a lot of reading, a lot of understanding. So it's not just on the training pitch, it's also a lot of understanding IQ as well. So maybe it gives us more time to get it drilled down.
You're right. It could be a good thing for sure. I mean, he's a very, very clever manager. You can already see, like, I love the press conferences now. I can watch press conferences now again, and that's no disrespect to Ollie, but Ollie never really gave any insights into what he was doing in the training ground or anything. And a lot of the things was it's margin. It's a small margin. That's all what he used to say. But really listening to Ragnick talk about what he wants from the players. He doesn't cover or protect any players. He really just tells us how it is. It's so refreshing to hear. It's amazing.
You mentioned press conference, but the main reason I want our viewers to watch the show is to press the like button. Please do that, man. As soon as you come on, press the like and subscribe if you're not subscribed. This is the Man United agenda where it's all happening. And Mr. B, you going to tell us about a Bruno shirt or something?
Yes. We should have a draw. The draw should be happening on Thursday or Friday. Thursday. Has that been confirmed as Thursday? Solo confirmed it as Thursday? Anyway,
everything's
we'll
up in the air.
But we will have the draw.
And it's not going to be crooked like this during the Champions League.
Yes.
Yeah.
Everybody will be with
I love the way you did that, Amandi.
Yeah, that was great.
Nothing up our sleeves.
No shenanigans here. No favoritism. Know what I mean?
Right. So let's explain. We've hit that 1,000 subscriber mark. So
thank you, everybody.
We're chuffed. But now we're gonna make one of you guys happy. We will be giving away a signed Bruno Fernandes shirt to one of you lucky subscribers. We are not on the list. Solo, we've barred from the list. If you didn't know, he did win the first draw. we claimed fix. He claimed that there was nothing in it. We'll leave you to decide that. We will have the draw live, so you will see your name pop up. All we need you to do is tune in, watch the show on the day. Once you do that, send us the details. We'll post you out the shirt. Hopefully, it's not going to be nowhere too far. We don't mind posting it out to our viewers in Australia. We've got a couple in Hawaii and a couple in LA. So God knows what the postage is going to be for that. But don't worry, we'll deal with it on the agenda. OS has got it covered.
I think that means I think that means.
Or you can fly. Or we can fly.
Yeah, that's the alter ego where we know there's something going on there. Something going on there that OS isn't telling us, but we best not ask questions that I don't want to get I don't want.
Usually the mild-mannered reporter. We know him as the mild-mannered reporter, but when it comes to delivering Bruno shirts, gets his cape on and delivery.
I also wonder what that green glow was, and I know what it is now. It's kryptonite, man.
OS, before we moved on, you haven't been on for a little while. What do you think of Monday sort of touched on it a little bit a couple of minutes ago. What are you thinking about Ranick's our performances under Ranick in the last couple of games?
Good question.
You know what? It's a great question. I mean, I was most impressed with the first half against Norwich. That's where I really saw something, and it was straight away. That was the first game he took charge, and you can see the players bought into what he was saying. Now, it could be a balance of new manager energy, as well as what he's saying, but I just like the fact that you feel he's so assertive on the touchline. You see that he's involved in what's happening in the decision making. He's not asking, he's telling. I think that's also an important thing. And he also it was interesting for me that he kept some of the coaches on board, because everyone expected it to be a complete turnover, but he wanted to still have some of that knowledge, which is smart, no matter how clever you are, you still want some sort of attachment to what happened before. And I think that's intelligent of him to do that. And in the process, I think he's going to know which tools he still needs and which tools he doesn't need from that coaching department that's still there. So, and it made me laugh when he answered the question about what some of the coaching guys were doing there. I think, who was it that he said that, this guy doesn't take any of the coaching on the field. He said that about one of our coaches, and I'm trying to remember who was it that he said
Mike
that.
Phelan.
Oh yeah, I think it was Mike Phelan he was talking about exactly. And he said, so in my head, I'm thinking, so what's Mike Phelan doing in the back if he's not like helping? So it's like it makes you ask questions from his responses, which is interesting, you know. Go on. So what you saying, team?
I was going to say, in terms of what you're saying there, I think and I'll ask you if you all agree, had Ranić been given a 2 or 3 year contract to be the manager, I don't think he would have kept the backroom staff in.
Indeed.
I think he would have been right. That now I've got time to put in a whole fresh approach to this. But like you said, he did need that kind of stability. You know, he couldn't sort of just leave himself, you know, walking a tightrope in terms of that, because he's going to bring in so many new changes all at once, you know, into this short period. Because for his point of view, you've got to look at this. It's like he's got to condense everything right down into this sort of short window of opportunity and try and feed the players it. And it's difficult, very difficult.
He's in a tricky position. The thing is, what impressed me the most about everything he's doing is how high up, you know, our defenders are. I think that's amazing. You know, like it really suffocates the opposition. The only thing, the great thing is that we're not playing any top opposition until I think it's in January when we start playing them again. So there's a good set of games where the players can get used to what he's trying to say, because I would be a bit worried to play in that style right now against the top opposition who can take advantage of the space behind our wing backs, you know, and our wing backs are not used to, or fullbacks are not used to going up that high and staying there. So I think
which poses the question, which was asked by Crystal Sparks with Bath Time, while we're on that subject about how will we get on against better opposition. We played Chelsea under Carrick. So the question here is, has the team performed better under Ranić or Carrick for you?
That's a really interesting question. I mean, I think the team looked more comfortable under Carrick, but that's because they were doing what they were doing with Ollie as well. I believe, you know, like, but with Carrick, I think Carrick has better in-game management than Ollie. Like I saw that just in the 3 games he had, and it might be harsh to judge Ollie like that against Carrick, but I saw smart decisions that Carrick was making. And I think that's had a big reason of why we got good results in those games. I mean, they were against stronger opposition, you know. So, but there's something happening under Ranić, I think, philosophically. I think that's much more interesting than what Carrick was doing. I feel like Carrick was a bit still too first level for me, whereas Ranić, I think, is trying to implement something that's going to work long term rather than just now. Even if now it doesn't look great. That's
the point. I was just going to jump in with that. Is that under Carrick, we did okay, but under Ralph, we've got a plan.
Yeah,
there's a method to the madness. Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
And when you've got a plan, you've got a plan to work to. So for me, I would say most definitely we've been better under Ranić.
Yeah,
2 words about it.
Yeah, indeed. And I think the players need to still kind of adapt to what he wants, what he's doing. I mean, it's funny, but out of attackers, for me personally, I think Sancho is the one that's thriving the most out of all of them. You know, like
he's the one who keeps getting subbed.
And it's strange. Or he got subbed in the last game, which was very strange for me because I thought Rashford should have been the one to come off. So it was really, really weird. But maybe he's subbing him for a reason. Maybe he's subbing him to keep him fresh for the next game, you know. But he's link up play, he's pressing, he's coming back, defending and attacking. He's clever movements into the spaces that Ranić wants. Sancho is the one that's doing all of that. You know, CR7, we've seen him try and do it. Some games he did it successfully, other games he didn't. And then Rashford, for me, is the weakest right now in terms of form out of all of our front three. So I think Sancho is the one that's thriving. The others have to come up to his level in terms of especially link-up play for that attack to work in that system.
So that's where the midfield comes in.
Yeah.
Sorry, Mr. B.
Yes, that is exactly what you just took the words. Because we've been talking a lot, and we talk bloody hell, boy. Read my mind.
Yeah, I mean, if you cannot control the midfield, then you have to take more risks and put yourself into a little bit more danger if you haven't got that control. And I think this is where he's talking about, Ralph. I love it how he uses that word a lot because it sort of gives you the impression that, look, no, we're not just going to go out here and sort of take a chance and sort of set up in a particular formation and try and score more goals. No. It's about controlling the game. When you control the game, as you've said, and everybody understands, you've got chances of winning that game go up exponentially, so huge. So I agree with what you said there, OS, is with Jadon Sancho. There was a comment early on in the stream about him with the half spaces and everything else, and us explaining that that is one of the most dangerous areas on the pitch in the opposition's half is the half spaces, because that's where a lot of the dangerous crosses come from. That's where a lot of the through little balls come from, or the little tippy tappies, and somebody makes a run. But in order to have that sort of dominance in that area, you have to have backup players around you. So underlapping, overlapping, dragging players about so you've got time. But also the link up, as you said, between the midfield players for the outballs, recyclers, movement constantly, so that the players have to move around to follow the pattern of play that you're creating. Because if you don't follow the pattern of play your opposition is creating, you'll find yourself ball watching. Before you know it, you're like an owl. You're facing the opposition's goal, but your head's looking back at your own goal because there's players behind you. You're like, well, wait a minute, what's going on there? So you have to follow that, and if you don't, like I say, you're going to be in trouble.
I mean, he's going to definitely need a midfield person there that can control. Scott McTominay and Fred are not those guys, but he's getting the best out of them, I think. I think he's getting them in this position. Like, if you saw Scott McTominay, I don't think Scott McTominay was good in the first couple of games under him. But the last game, I thought Scott McTominay did a good job, to be honest with you. Like, I saw him trying to do more forward passes. And I think that's one of the reasons why our passing stats wasn't great. Our forward passing stats wasn't great, because they were trying without executing it properly. Like Bruno lost the ball God knows how many times in that last game. Scott McTominay, some of his passing didn't go through, but others did. As a whole round performance, I think he did well, Scott McTominay. Fred, I think, is thriving under Ragnick. I'm not going to lie to you. I know we've killed him on the show, but he has been thriving. So
he killed himself.
I hope this continues, man. I hope this continues with him, seriously, because I'm not saying he's the level that Manchester United require, but you have to give him credit when, he's doing well, and he's doing well right now.
So sorry, on Monday, I'm going to sorry for cutting you off about that.
No, it's all good.
Go.
Oh, no, just to say, Ranrick, what he keeps saying, he develops players. And as you're just saying, we're seeing a development from McTominay, Fred, and just minor things. But that's something we know about good coaches. This is what they do. They get the best out of these players.
So we're saying that we're still looking for a central midfielder?
Yeah.
Yes, for sure.
Okay, can I ask you, before we were looking for a defensive midfielder, are we now? Well, I know you weren't. I know you. Are we now looking for a different kind of midfielder on Monday?
I've never said, I'm with OS, I've never said we need a defensive midfielder. I said a midfielder should be able to encompass everything. So we need a baller, a good ball player. This is why we're saying, as OS just demonstrated now, we need forward passes, quick get out of your feet, forward passes, and passes that reach this target, that sort of player. So we need to have someone with quality on the ball. Maybe and someone with good IQ as well, someone who's well-versed in different systems and understanding where they need to be positioned at all time. Yeah. So I'm not looking for an enforcer with those sort of high qualities and that sort of tackling, enforcing. That's not out of the game now. I don't think that's necessary. The two midfielders, the two sixes that we have, if you notice, they sit in front of the back two, the two centre backs, and they recycle the ball. So they don't have to do much running. They have to stay in position, because once we're camped in the opposition half, these two midfielders will sit there and recycle the ball. If they try to play out, they can pick it up and then recycle it over again and again and again. That's their job. And obviously to cover that space, because the fullbacks will be ahead of them, cover that space in behind where the fullbacks have left and cover that. So they have to be IQ, look around, and mainly stay quite stationary. That's what I've seen from my own eyes in the last two games. Stationary guys, but just getting themselves in position. And I'd love to see that. I think you need to have good technique, good getting the ball at your feet and popping balls into feet, that kind of thing. You need to be a good IQ. You need to be well-versed physically as well, be able to run quick as well, to be able to maybe stop a counter or to get in position. And so tackling and enforcing, I don't think they're the main attributes you required to that midfielder. So if you're talking about someone who fits that bill, it won't be this so-called Indeedy that we felt we needed before, because now our system doesn't require that. it's going to be like a player. Indeed, can he play them penetrating
Like a
passes?
Verratti,
Maybe not.
or a Carrick. Verratti or a Carrick.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah.
Hold on.
There you go.
Okay.
There's one player here. There's one player that who if Paul Pogba had Fred's short burst pace, bang, we're in business.
Yeah.
We're in
Yeah,
business.
Paul Pogba's a 6 all day. At this stage of his career, I think he's a 6 all day long. He can do that.
So we're looking at a midfielder. Is there any suggestions? Any names pop into our heads while we're here? Just something to throw out for a couple of minutes before we move on to
actually, you
Champions
don't
League?
have to agree with what I said. I think these are the attributes I feel we need based on the system.
No, I agree with
I think
you.
you
I
guys
agree
open
with
court.
No, but I
agree.
mean, let's be honest. Was it Mark up here? Mark Carroll put a thing in here about players with poor touches are being exposed under Rangnick's tactics.
Yeah, he's right.
Well, first touch,
Yeah.
definitely.
If they can't control that football, they're dead. And right now, you're looking at there's a couple of players who are really in trouble at the moment. You know?
The other day he played a Mata in midfield with Donny van der Beek. 2 ball players. Nothing to do with tackling, nothing to do with 2 ball players. That's what he required. So, look, we were after Ruben Neves. I think he fixed a lot of those criteria that we need. 6 to go in the box. I'm not saying him, but he's technically good like
that. Indeed, he's an absolute calamity of a midfielder. And I said it's strange what we're looking for now. You know, do you think that we're going to get anybody in January? My hope is, look, we've got Atletico Madrid coming up in the Champions League. It could have been PSG. Well, the way that they drew it today, it could have been anybody the way they messed that up. But look, we're settled with Atletico Madrid. What are we saying? I'm going to ask you all a question. Would you have preferred PSG to Atletico Madrid?
No.
I think we may have had a better chance against PSG, you know. But I only say that because PSG are not going to defend with their lives, you know, and that's what we've struggled with. Hopefully, Rangnick can fix that. But PSG are going to come at us. So that space they're going to create in the pitch, I think we would thrive with that space. And we've done it in the past against them. I know they've got Messi. Neymar won't play. Neymar's going to be injured for a while. So that's... And Neymar.
Neymar.
But I think in Brazil, they say Neymar.
You beat in Mexico traveling the world too long.
I'm serious. I think in Spanish wise,
it's not Nemo the fish. Under the sea.
No. That wasn't even Nemo.
Where have you been exactly? Where have you been on your vacation? Jesus Christ.
You get some away there, man. I think I can hear the clipping tools being.
He's doing it right now. Lima. How do you spell that?
That's so funny. But I mean, Neymar. So let's say he isn't free. He isn't free for them. So I just think that, you know, it would have, and Messi's not playing that well for them as well. So it would have been a good matchup. But Atletico, the only thing I'm concerned with is, you know, they're a very, very defensive team, and they have the quality to break our defense apart. So it's going to be an interesting. We should still beat them. I think we should still beat them, but we struggled against defensive, compact teams in the past. So that's why
Under Oli, we did.
Under Oli, you're right.
There we go. See,
under the sea.
They took the words right under my mouth. Oli, so look, we've got them on. When have we got them? March, May, February
and March.
March. So February 23rd. That's long enough for United to understand the system that Rangnick wants to play, I believe.
Yeah.
I would like to think that we're going to give them a game, but this is Champions League now, and I'm not sure that we are equipped at the moment. I said, I just wanted us to get to the group stage. Now we're in the group stage. I want to get to the quarter. Now we're at the group stage. I want to get to the quarter final, you know? So I'm glad it is Atletico. And I'm glad that we've got somebody who is better than us in regards to they've been in the Champions League year after year after year after year, consistently. I think we've got the players. I definitely know we've got the manager. I just want to see what level we come in at now. Because under Oli, let's be honest, if we were playing Atletico Madrid, you'd all be hoping, we'd be praying for a Monday's 1-0 score, boy. But we wouldn't be talking about smash and grabs. But I feel that we've got an opportunity in this. What you saying, Talk? You think we've got an opportunity? You're confident?
Of course I am. Of course I'm confident. I'm always going to be confident in my team, and like I say, either way, give me PSG or Atletico Madrid, and we'll give it our absolute best shot at beating them. And like we discussed earlier with Monday, the way Atletico set up in that 5-3-2, it's probably going to turn into a outnumbering us in the midfield. So that's where we're going to have to when we do get on that ball, we're going to have to move it quickly. We're going to have to move it quickly because they will be on us like, that saying, how the saying goes. Like,
flies on, yeah.
So you know what? If we're not, they will be into us, and we know they can hurt you with the strikers they've got up front. You know what I mean? And they've got some great. There's lots of other great players in that squad as well. I mean, João Felix has been, as Amonde alluded to earlier, João Felix has not been what maybe we thought he was going to be, but there's still time yet for him to flourish and blossom. They got some great defenders as well. But for me, I think we'll have enough to keep them away from our goal, and we'll get one or two opportunities. It's just we've got to take those couple of opportunities that we may get, because, like you say, packing the bus on us is going to be, difficult to get past.
Mm-hmm. Good thing is Varane will be back as well.
Yeah.
I saw your piece of paper, man. I'm waiting for this.
I've done some notes on Atletico when we got them, because obviously, initially it was PSG. We've done a show on it, and then it's like, oh my god, that goes in the bin. Now we've got to do Atletico Madrid. So thank you, UEFA. Anyway, so João Felix, as the talk mentioned, great young talented striker off the false nine, attacking midfielder, got it all, great ability, but hasn't really blown up yet. Griezmann, we know what he's got. He used to be a winger, actually, at Real Sociedad. He's turned into a prolific, talented, world-class forward now. Luis Suarez, we all know about him. He's lost his legs a bit, but he's a cheeky MOFO, and he can really put it in and score goals. They got great goalkeeper.
MOFO. That one.
He's not lost his teeth, Phil. He's not lost his teeth.
Their goalkeeper, Oblak, is one of the best in Europe, no doubt about that. I'm sure everyone would agree there. Koke, been there for a long time, solid midfielder. He's outlasted everybody. Probably the longest serving player at Atletico Madrid. Quality midfielder, Marcus Llorente, he scored against Liverpool when they knocked him out last season. I think it was. He came for Real Madrid, another quality midfielder, and also could play up front and play in defence as well. Carrasco is a marauding sort of wing back. He gets up and down. He plays on the left, whereas Trippier is on the right a lot of the time. And they also could put Thomas Lemar in there on the left as a wing back as well. He's a former Monaco winger, left-footed, very talented. Got Trippier as well, and Rodrigo de Paul, who they brought from Italy, who's Argentine. Yeah, you know about him as Mr. B. All ballers. Yeah, and they play as a team. So it's not easy. We've seen what Liverpool did to them. Clearly, my only positive about it, they're not the team they used to be. In the words of Fine Young Cannibals and Roland Gift, not the team they used to be at all. Yeah. So, I'm quite confident. But we have to be, by March or February, I'm confident we'll be at that stage where we're on a momentum thing and looking to be.
If you just look at the stats, though, for them for this season, so Luis Suarez, 8 goals, 1 assist out of 22 games. As you mentioned, Griezmann, 7 goals, 2 assists. But the interesting one here is Angel Carrera, 5 goals, 4 assists. Lemar, 3 goals, 2 assists. And you mentioned Carrasco, he's got 2 goals and 4 assists. So it's
all over. Equal him around.
Team performance, yeah.
So it's not going to be an easy game by any stretch. I'm not expecting us to go there and take them or totally take the mickey or anything like that.
But he's there in the parties. That's brilliant.
You know, sometimes you see a message, right, and you put it up, I'm just waiting for you lot's face to crack first because I don't want to be the first one. I just wait, man. I'm so glad I won this on man, because he don't hold nothing, boy. Sorry,
I'm so glad
yeah.
Christmas with Vaughan is here, keeping that festive, funny season thing going. Brilliant. I love that line. Love that line.
Yeah. Welcome,
Welcome.
Matata United. I think I've seen you before in the chat. Big up, bro. Where you from? Let us know where you're from. I'm going to guess with Matata. It's time to guess where people are from in the chat. Matata United.
Well, let's ask our jet setting worldwide. His passport's been stamped.
Well, Matata United.
Heroic tackle. Come
Matata
on.
United. I guess Kenya.
I'm going to go Egypt. I'm going to go Egypt.
Okay, let's see.
Come on. Let us know.
I mean, it's like Matata, who knows? I'm saying Uruguayan.
Uruguayan?
Oh. Yeah.
Come on, let's get him in.
South America.
He's still
Let's
there.
have a look. He's going to tell us in a moment. There's a lot riding on this, Matata. So tell us the truth, bro.
Matata, no, Matata, where are you from?
Side bets going on here under the table.
I hope.
Salford.
Oh, yeah. Ken, how you doing? Yeah, sorted, mate.
Well, Matata means no worries, right? Hakuna Matata.
That's what I was thinking. But what's that of? Lion King.
That's Swahili. It's from Kenya. That's why I said Kenya.
You can't. You know what?
International.
See, OS. Gosh, OS. Did I get your opinion on the Atletico game? I know we skipped one thing. No, we didn't. You were next in line. Sorry, man. We're talking about Matata United. Sorry.
Yeah. What opinion on the United game versus Atletico?
Yeah. What do you think our chances? Tanzania. There you go.
Tanzania. Close. Next door. It's next door. So that was close.
Yes.
So the game against Atletico, I'm just worried. I think personally, Simeone will set up this team better than Pochettino would have set up PSG. I think Pochettino's struggling at PSG right now because of the names there, the egos there, and I feel like there's a little bit more disorganized than Atletico will be. Atletico is going to come as a team. Atletico is going to come prepared, organized, and United. That's been our Achilles, heel. We know that. Against organized teams, we struggle. But that was under Oli, as we mentioned. This is a new era. It's under Ralph Rangnick. I'm hoping he's going to prepare the team by now. As Amonde said, we have a month, to really gel together. He's going to understand what players are the best for his system. And by then, we should be confident enough that we're going to be, we approach this game super well. That's my thoughts.
Good shout.
Maybe I might. Strange how confident we are now until game night, and then we do our predictions. I go 3-1. Amondi goes 1-0. Solo goes 3-1.
Yeah.
And then when the game kicks off, I'm thinking, Jesus Christ, I should have done a Monday. I'm praying for the Monday. So it's gonna be an interesting future event. We've still got so much football to play before
hopefully.
then. Well, yeah, we're saying hopefully. I mean, look, the first hope is Brentford, where if it is on, we will be there. We're doing our fan cams tomorrow. If it's not there, then we won't be doing any fan cams anyway. We'll be here streaming to you guys, discussing how disappointed we are. Yes, that's absolutely fine. If there's any more messages up here, before I go, if you've liked the stream, please like, share, subscribe, hit that notification bell so that you get notified when we are going live. There might be a situation with YouTube where the show comes on and you have to hit the notification bell twice. Don't worry, hit it twice. So 45 minutes, we're done. On Monday, thank you as always.
Thanks,
OS,
bro.
Yes.
it's so good to have you back, man.
Pleasure
so
to be back.
Have you back.
Pleasure to be back with you guys. Yes.
Missed you.
She too.
Yes, bro.
Yeah, my partner in crime.
Yes.
If we're on, if the watch along is on, it'll be me and Talk on tomorrow. If it's not, then it'll be the whole agenda on tomorrow, having a little discussion more than likely. But from me tonight, I'm going to be signing out. It's Mr. B, a Monday, OS and Talk. As always, we are the Man United Agenda.
Big up.